Hello everyone and welcome back to Love English. Today we're looking at slang for 2021. Now I would say that a lot of these words actually started to be used in 2020, but they're still being used now in 2021, so they're great for you to know. They're very much part of TikTok, Instagram, memes, generally internet culture. So if you're into any of that, you're going to love this as it's going to help you understand all of those things that so far have had you scratching your head. Also, it's going to be useful if you're coming to the UK or the US to work or study, or you're watching recent movies and TV shows. These are very much all part of modern culture. So knowing them is going to help you feel more of a part of that. And also if you have a teenager and you have no idea what they're saying, this is also going to be your guide. Remember guys that slang is for casual conversations and informal conversations, not usually for the work environment, so keep that in mind. So number one is lit. Something is lit. And this means awesome, really cool, amazing. So for example, if you go to a great party, you can say, oh, that party was lit. Or that new film was lit. Any experience that you really enjoy, you can say it was lit. Even something you consume, a great video, a great sporting event that you went to, you did a sport, you can say, oh, that was lit. So another way to say awesome, very, very popular right now.
Colder than a bitch, then you know you lit.
Number two is extra, extra. And this is like over the top or too much. So if someone was behaving in a way that was a little bit over the top, a little bit exaggerated, you could say, oh, that was a bit extra, or that was so extra. Or I thought her outfit was a bit extra, meaning over the top, too much. So teenagers will often say this, they'll be like, oh, that was so extra. Number three is salty, salty. Salty means to be bitter or upset about something. So if you say, I'm really salty about the fact that I didn't get an A for that essay. I worked so hard on that. I feel salty about it. Or if somebody doesn't turn up on a date, you go for a date and the other person doesn't show up, you can say, wow, I'm salty about that. Meaning I'm upset, I'm cross. And you may still be salty about it in a month's time. You might say, no, not speaking to him. I'm still salty about when he stood me up. Meaning he didn't come, he stood me up. So to be salty. Number four, great one, this one. This is to flex, to flex. And to flex, it means to show off. It doesn't mean literally to show your muscles. It means to show off. So we might say, oh, he was really flexing about his new car. Or, did you see her flexing her new outfit? It's like showing off. And it's positive and negative. So I could joke and say, oh, I want to flex tonight. I want to show off my new hairstyle or something. I'm going to be flexing, for example. And obviously there's a jokiness that's a part of that. But we can also use it negatively and say things like, oh, that was way too much flex or too much flexing. And we would use it like a verb in that way. So there was too much flexing or way too much flex, for example. So way too much showing off.
Hey, no flex zone. Hey, no flex zone.
Next one is woke. You may have heard of this one. It became a big thing in 2020, and it means to have a higher level of awareness. So if you're woke, you're very in the know, you're very knowledgeable about modern day issues. So race, gender, environmental issues, all of those kind of things. You're very aware of that. You're very sympathetic about that. And we can describe things that we have seen as woke. So for example, you might say, oh my goodness, that documentary, Cowspiracy on Netflix, that is woke. Or that documentary on gender that just came out, it's woke. When I looked recently on the internet at the wokest TV shows, you can use it as an adjective, the wokest TV shows, it said that Dear White People and Atlanta are two very woke shows at the moment. Now this word is so common, it's used in newspapers, even on the news you might hear a reporter describe something in a jokey way as being woke. Number six, I love this one and I definitely use it. This one is slay, to slay. And basically it means to do something really well or to be awesome. So for example, if someone's wearing an amazing outfit or has done something really well, like a presentation, we might say, you slayed, or you slayed that job interview. Or if a friend wears a great outfit, I can say, oh, you're slaying tonight.
I slay all day.
Number 7 is mood. And this is basically when you're feeling a certain way and you're in a certain mood. And you will often see this on captions on Instagram or TikTok. So for example, if you're having a cozy night in by the fire, watching a movie, you might caption that mood, as in the mood is cozy night vibes, for example. Or if a friend says to me, oh, I'm just dying for holidays, cocktails and beaches, I just can't wait, I could reply and say, oh yeah, mood, if I feel that too, if I want that too. So it's also a way to kind of say, oh, I feel the same, that's my mood too. Number 8 is to clap back, which is a bit of a strange one, and this is probably one of the more recent ones. And this is to respond to criticism. So if somebody says something bad about you, you can clap back, meaning you can retort. The older version of this was to snap back. So for example, you might see this in celebrity magazines again, saying things like Taylor Swift claps back at Justin Bieber dig. Dig meaning unpleasant remark about Taylor. So a dig is like an unpleasant remark about someone. So you probably will see this in the news as well sometimes, that someone claps back about something in an informal setting. So it's like retort, respond to criticism.
You give me a little clap back?
Number 9 is shook, to be shook. And this is like surprised or shocked. So it's kind of like saying shaken, really. But obviously slang doesn't keep to grammar, so they use the past tense version, not the past participle. So if you say you're shook, it's like, whoa, I was shocked, I was surprised. I was shook by the last episode of Game of Thrones, not necessarily in a good way. Or if you hear surprising news, you might be like, oh my goodness, I'm shook. You know, I'm really shocked that she's pregnant. I'm shook about that. Number 10 is low-key. And low-key means toned down. So discreet, subtle, not very over the top, more relaxed. So you might say, I'm having a low-key evening in tonight, or I'm having a low-key get-together. It's just going to be pizza and beers, nothing special, nothing fancy. However, we can also use low-key in a way to say, I want to be discreet about this. I want to be subtle. So for example, I could say, I low-key like that show, Jane the Virgin, meaning I kind of don't want everyone to know about this. I want to be subtle about it, maybe because I'm a bit embarrassed, but it's like saying, I don't want people to know really. Or I low-key really like her. It's like, I don't want everyone to know, please keep it a secret.
I low-key feel like funk sway.
Next one, high-key is of course the opposite. High-key is like, I want everybody to know about this, or everyone knows. So for example, we might say, she's high-key having a party. So it's like everyone knows, everyone's welcome. Or he's being high-key about the fact that he's studying a lot at the moment. So he's being very loud about this, very obvious about it. It's no secret. Next one is to ghost someone, I'm sure lots of you know this one. People tend to ghost people and then they get ghosted. It's very much part of the way of the internet, really. And it came about really with dating apps like Tinder and things like that. So for example, if you stop hearing from somebody, they stop replying to your messages, they might unfollow you from accounts, or they might block you even from an account, they ghost you. But it's not necessarily for people who are dating. It can also be that you stop liking someone, you want to cut them out of your life, and you also do this virtually. So you might be like, after she was so horrible to me at my birthday party, I ghosted her. And it's like, I cut her out, I ghosted her. But of course you can use it in dating situations as well. Like for example, if you're on a dating app, but then somebody stops replying to your messages, you can say that they ghosted you. Have you been ghosted by someone, or have you ghosted someone? Tell me about that in the comments below.
Ghosted on us, where you been?
Next one is to throw shade. And to throw shade is like to criticize someone, to try to make them look bad. So I think the older version of this phrase is like to put someone in a bad light. So for example, if somebody is saying things that make you look bad, they're trying to put you in a bad light. They're trying to throw shade at you. So for example, your mum might throw shade at you at dinner if she's trying to say that you're not studying hard enough and what's happening with your grades. So she could say things like, oh, you know, you haven't been doing enough work lately, and where are your grades? We haven't seen what you've got recently. We don't see you studying much. And then after, you could say, oh, my mum was throwing shade at me about my studying, for example.
Throw him some shade.
The next one is ship. And this is just short for relationship. So you might say, the Beckhams are my favorite ship. They actually are. Or you can also use this as a verb. So you could say, those two are shipping, or, oh, they should be shipping, meaning they should be going out. Or I've heard teenagers saying something like, I want to ship them, meaning I want to get them together, or want to get them into a relationship. Next one, I love this one, definitely use it. This one is hangry. Now, when you're hungry, you do start to feel a little angry. You start to feel a little cranky, and your blood sugars dip. And we can say in this situation that you're hangry because you're hungry and you're getting angry. So you're hangry. Not a good state to be in. Nobody is nice when they're hangry. Make sure you have a Mars bar or something.
A little hangry, Claire.
The next one is stan. Basically, this originated with the Eminem song Stan, which was all about a crazy fan who wanted to be like Eminem and who was obsessed with him. So basically it now means to be a huge fan of. If you say, I'm a stan of Game of Thrones, or I'm a big stan of that, for example. So it means a huge fan of. She's a big stan of Barcelona, or she's a stan of Barcelona football team. What are you guys a stan of? Tell me about that in the comments below. Number 16, on fleek. And this means on point. So the previous phrase was really on point. But on fleek means perfectly well done or perfect. So we might say his playing tonight in the football team was on fleek, or her outfit was on fleek, or her performance in the presentation was on fleek. It means perfectly well done.
This is on fleek, as the internet says.
Next one is snatched. I would say this is a synonym of lit. Again, this is another way to say awesome, really cool. You can say this particularly about outfits. So you might say, that outfit is snatched, meaning it's awesome. Or that party was snatched. Again, very similar to lit. Next one is sus. I was surprised that this one is still around because it's been around a long time. I've been using it certainly since I was a teenager. It's just the short form of suspicious. So if you say, that was a bit sus, you're saying, I don't trust that, that's suspicious. Very, very common, I think, this one actually. As a teacher, I've had many times when I've thought the behaviour of my students was a little bit sus. For example, I had one student who didn't attend any of the lectures except for one, but at the end of the course, he gave me an assignment which was an 100% absolutely perfect level assignment. Now, I did find that a little bit sus. Number 19, Jomo. I'm sure you've all heard of FOMO, which is fear of missing out. So when you want to go to everything that everyone else is going to, every party, every event, because you have FOMO. You don't want to miss out on anything that's going on, so you don't want to miss it. The new version of this is Jomo, and this is so Leila. Leila is a person that loves cozy nights in, watching Netflix, snuggling up with her cats and her hubby. And she has the Jomo, joy of missing out. So she wouldn't be bothered about going to loud concerts or rock gigs or anything like that. She would say, oh, I have Jomo, for example, joy of missing out. So I'm happy I'm missing out. Next one is spill the tea. And this is like spill the beans. So it's like, spill the tea about this, gossip, tell me what's going on, tell me what secrets you know. And you can also say that you have tea on someone, which is like you have gossip about them or you have some secret knowledge about them, for example. So we might say, come on, spill the tea. I want to know what you found out when you talked to her ex, for example. Spill the tea about that. Or do you have some tea on her? Any of those would work.
Spill the tea, sweetheart.
And finally, the last one is GOAT, which is greatest of all time. which is usually represented on the internet by the goat emoji. This originated with Muhammad Ali, who was often referred to as the greatest, and his wife turned this into the greatest of all time. So if we think something was awesome, and for me it's the greatest, we can say, oh, that for me is GOAT. You can say that your favourite sports stars or celebrities are GOAT. So a lot of people would say that Michael Jordan is GOAT, or footballers like Messi, Ronaldo, all of those might be described as GOAT. Okay, everybody, I hope you found this useful. Please try to use these in the comments below. Tell me, what are you a stan of? What is GOAT for you? And have you ever ghosted someone? Tell me about that in the comments below. I look forward to reading them, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.